got to bring it back. And then we have to be detached of thinking about the past and future of how we chanted and how we are going to chant, so that we can be focused on what we are chanting now. With that said, let's start reading the sixth chapter, titled as Chanting Through Anything. Perhaps we have a Maha Mantra and suddenly intuit that Krishna is present in his name, that Krishna's name is Krishna. Where did chanting come from? Did it take birth in the mind? Is it coming from Krishna himself? Don't worry about it. Simply chant. Don't try to capture any thoughts that pass through the mind. If the thoughts are coming from Krishna, then we can be assured that Krishna will come to us in other ways as well. As he says in Bhagavad Gita 4:11, He yata mam prapatyante. He appears to us in proportion to how much we want to meet him. If we can simply learn to chant properly, our desire to be with him will increase and the impurities that block us from that pure desire will dissipate. So keep the mind focused. Devotees who consciously follow their thoughts realize how common it is for the mind to converse with itself while they chant. Perhaps a devotee sits down to chant and finds his mind captivated by visual impressions. He decides to close his eyes but begin to nod. Within minutes, his mind is weighing the relative value of chanting with his eyes open or his eyes closed. The discussion goes on with endless commentary, that is, until it spins off onto another topic. But it doesn't matter whether we chant with our eyes open or closed. Draw the mind back to the name. We have to be determined to keep it focused on the sound of the mind we are chanting at that moment. If we find our determination temporarily derailed, we can take the moment we notice the derailment to restate our sankalpa. No matter what we may think or feel, best to stay with simple hearing. When the mind understands that we are serious in our task, it will tend to relax and cooperate. The mantra will reveal Krishna if we can hear the sound vibration Krishna. Devotees are often afraid that Krishna will never reveal himself to them. But our acharyas have guaranteed that we will be successful through appropriate endeavor. Simply chant one mantra. Once the mind is trained, a gentle reminder will become sufficient. Chanting is not meant to be a mechanical process. If we listen to Krishna's name, we will find him present there. Next section. Let the mind embrace the holy name. Embracing the holy name means tasting the holy name. And tasting begins when listening and then hearing. If we hear the name, we will naturally experience taste for it. The name, after all, is Krishna. When the mind and heart embrace the holy name, it will no longer be difficult to chant. At present, we struggle to force the mind to listen to Krishna's name. But if we can slow the mind down enough to hear, the name will begin to manifest its sweetness. Then our consciousness will embrace the holy name, and the holy name will hold us. We cannot control the holy name's response to our chanting, but we can do our part. Make a determined attempt to fix our attention on Krishna's name. Srila Prabhupada writes, spiritual perfection is not limited by material qualifications but is developed by dint of one's sincere endeavor to render transcendental service. Voluntary endeavor is the only qualification for spiritual perfection. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.9.38 purport. The, in 1975, a disciple asked Srila Prabhupada how to control the restless mind while chanting japa. Srila Prabhupada gave a surprising, grave reply. So, what is the controlling of mind? You have to chant and hear, that's all. You have to chant with your tongue and the sound you hear, that's all. What is the question of mind? That's a morning walk, Hawaii, February 3rd, 1975. So the point here is to not contemplate and start making imaginations while we are chanting.
Prabhu, you're on mute.
You will.
All this while I was in mute.
No, no, just few seconds ago.
All this while I was mute.
No,
Sorry.
Prabhu, just few seconds ago you went on mute.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So I was saying that there's no need for, from what we learned from here, there's no need for us to contemplate on any of those things and start thinking about Krishna's pastimes or all those different things. Those things will naturally come to us. Um, but for now, as a beginners, we are all beginners in Krishna consciousness, trying to improve our chanting. That's all we are trying to do. And as a beginner, then all we have to do is simply focus on chanting. And Prabhupada, as beautifully says that there's nothing like difficult topic on controlling mind. All we have to do is just let chant and hear. And as the mind goes up, bring the mind back. That's the only technique. There's no any special pills or another mantra to control our mind, because this mantra will control our mind by itself if we try to focus on this one. And another point that been said here is voluntary endeavor is the only qualification for spiritual perfection. You see, these lines seem to be very light. Prabhupada, this is Prabhupada's purport. Voluntary endeavor is the only qualification for spiritual perfection. It has a big meaning to it. There are two types of people we deal in our life. Even that happens with our children also. We can experience this with children. Some children are very good, where you don't need to push them to do anything; they will naturally do. Some children have to be pushed. Coming to workplace is the same technique, same thing. There are people who doesn't need to be told what to do. They do their job. It's because they like to do it, they want to do it, and they know they have to do it. There are some people you have to constantly keep telling them, monitoring them, making sure they are doing things, right? They will not do things voluntarily. But either one is not bad. One coming from a different vasanas and karmas, another one coming from different vasanas and karma, right? So not to feel bad about it, but the point here is always it's nice for us to voluntarily get involved in spiritual activities. Not always possible. We may have to encourage people to take up Krishna consciousness and help them to come into Krishna consciousness. Nevertheless, once they start doing, then we have to start voluntarily involving in taking up these activities. So what happens if we don't do voluntarily? Then Krishna takes interest in our practices. Krishna takes interest in our life, and he will make sure that we start doing things, if not voluntarily, forcefully. So we don't want to trouble Krishna. In other words, we don't want to trouble Krishna. Let us take voluntarily taking up Krishna consciousness and doing chanting and services and so forth, rather interfering, making Krishna to interfere in our life and making us learn some lessons, and finally we become serious in our Krishna consciousness. Why to trouble Krishna? He's busy doing other things with gopis and stealing butters. Let him continue that, not to trigger Krishna. So it's nice to have among us is Lakshmi, who is a slow student. We all know she's been coming to our temple, and then I see that she's been joining Shanta Mataji's, got her into this one. So she's been attending 2 days. This is called voluntarily serving, right? So she heard about this program, she wants to join, and she's here. Like this, sometimes people may not know. We have to encourage them about Krishna consciousness. They will take it up. All right, I'll pause there and see if there is any discussions or questions. This chapter is not over yet. There is a couple of more uh, sections within this section. So I'll wait and see if there is any discussion. Also, I want to tell that starting today, so next for 3 days, we'll be having lecture class on Kunti's prayer, starting at 6:30, 6:30 to 7. There'll be a kirtan, and then 7 class starts. There are 26 slokas in Kunti. It's called Kunti Stuti, Krishna Stuti, or Krishna Kunti Stuti. We will try to cover an overview of all this 26 slokas in next 3 days. So if you can personally come, please do come. If not, the link will be sent. You can join. If not, you can listen to so many other things that's available online also. Great speakers. You can listen to that also. Any discussions? Okay, I don't want to continue reading because too much of reading also mind wanders. It's difficult to capture all the message. I'm going to pause here